May, I lost the plot entirely. 3 prompts. What are we going to get? And then the Bloodbound was also a beauty. We have my physical TBR, which is a really pretty cover actually. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and a brand new video. My name is Leanne. I share home, lifestyle and book content here on YouTube, and we're getting towards the beginning of July, so it is TBR time, my favourite video to make. So today we're still going to pick 2 prompts from the prompt jar like we always do and then head to the library. Whilst I'm in town, I also need to try and find something to wear for the weekend because I'm going to London to see Garth Brooks with my sisters. Garth Brooks was my mum's favourite singer, so we're going for her and it's going to be really nice, but it's also going to be really bloody hot. I think it's going to be 26 degrees on the Saturday, so I want to try and find like a light coloured oversized t-shirt to try and cover me as much as possible whilst also keeping me cool. So we're gonna head to town and look for that whilst we're there. I did also want to do a book haul in this video, like share all the books that I've bought recently. I don't know whether I'm going to get that done because it's also hot today and I'm already dying. So we'll see whether because they're all on the shelves now. I'd have to go through and find them all. So I might do that, and I might just cop out and not. Depends how hot and sweaty I am. But let's get the TBR jar. Here we go. We are down to the last 3 prompts, so I'm definitely gonna need some new ones. If you have any prompt ideas, let me know, pop them in the comments, but I'll also do a question box on my Instagram stories at some point. So 3 prompts. What are we gonna get? Prompt number 1. A book with dark trees on the cover. I think that one might be tricky. We'll hope for dark trees. We might just have to get trees. We'll see. And then prompt number 2. I'm sure I've already pulled this one before. I don't know whether I accidentally put it back in, but anyway, it says the author's name has a middle initial. I'm really sure I've pulled that one before. I've done this one before and there's only one left in the jar, so I'm gonna get the last one out. An author you've never read. So that one is gonna be pretty simple to find in the library, but there's gonna be so much choice, it might be difficult to choose. So I don't know how this one ended up back in the jar after I'd already done it, but the jar is now empty, so we definitely need some new prompts, and we have our 2 prompts ready to head to the library, head to town. I'm dreading it because it's just too hot, too hot, too hot.
Been through the fire, but still did shine. Rain couldn't drown me, dry design. Every scar proof for the constant climb. Oh, and them can't still what they know it's truly mine. Oh, see glory run from pain divine. My spirit so clean, my soul aligned. But my premise it is mine. My life a movie, victory style. Let me see the dark days, still me never fade. When life tests me never trade. Turn setback to a sweet serenade. Now the world singing, Lord crusade. Mama say pray, I gon' pave your lane. Now me walk through the storm and feel no strain. I don't want snow to the island flame. I don't want snow to the island flame. Been through the fire, but still did shine. Rain couldn't drown me, dry design. Every scar proof for the constant climb. Oh, and them can't steal what they know is truly mine. Oh, we've been through the fire, but still did shine. Rain couldn't drown me, dry design. Every scar proof for the constant climb. Oh, and them can't steal what they know is true. spirit still clean, my soul aligned.
So, about that book haul, we have quite a few new books. These are all the books that I've bought since March. I shared the books that I bought in January and February in a previous video, quite a while ago now obviously, but this is what I've bought since then. So we have March, April, May, I lost the plot entirely, and June. So let's talk through all of them. So I'm sorry if the lighting is a little off. This is the only angle I can film in this room at the minute, where it's tidy behind me, the rest of the room is still in chaos. But also, obviously that's where the window is, so it can shine too much onto the camera. But let's start with the books that I bought in March. First up, I bought Diabound by Sable Sorensen. This, I got it from TikTok shop and I think it was £7. Or did I get it from Amazon? Amazon, because I didn't have to pay postage. I got this from Amazon because it was on offer at £7. I have since read it. I've very much enjoyed it. If you liked Fourth Wing, you will love this. It's like Fourth Wing, but with wolves instead of dragons. If you've seen some of my earlier videos, you might have known that at the beginning of the year I set myself a book budget of £15 a month, and in this month that we're on, March, I was sticking to it. So I bought this for £7. And then my next purchase was the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I got these from Vinted, and again I got them for £7. I think it was like £7.13, but that included postage as well. I got these for a really good price. They are not in perfect condition. There is some wear and tear, but I do love my books and I do love them to look nice and I do look after them. But at the end of the day, books are for reading. So I don't care if they look like they've been read, because that is what they're for. But since buying these, I have read book number 1 in the series. I feel like I need to read another one to properly get into it, but I did enjoy this, and I am excited to continue my Shadowhunters Chronicles journey. So those were the books I bought in March, and I did stick to my budget and spent just over £14. Then we move on to the books that I bought in April. And I got all 3 of these from TikTok shop. They were all on offer at the time, and I wanted these 2, and I ended up buying a third just because I don't like paying for postage. If it's going to add £4 postage, then to me, I'd rather buy another book for, I think it was £6 or £7, and get free postage. That's girl math, innit? Girl math. But I bought books 1 and 2. I don't know what this series is. Has this series got a name? I don't know if the series has got a name. But the Wolf King and the Night Prince books 1 and 2. I just had a look inside. It's called the Wolf King trilogy. So I've wanted these for a while. The Wolf King is on my 26 for 2026, and they were both on offer. They are still both linked in my TikTok shop, but I think they've gone up in price from the seller that I bought them from. But I did find another seller that was selling them at £7 and link those as well. So I'm not sure what the current prices are, but have a look. And then the book I bought to get free postage was To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This is a dystopian. I am really loving dystopian at the moment. So I think the total for these 3 books was just over my monthly budget. So I think it was around £18 for these 3 books, April was in fact the last month that I stuck to my book buy budget, and in May I lost the plot. So I hope you're ready for May's list of books, because I don't know what I was thinking. So when it got to May, Tesco have some incredible exclusive editions at the moment, and I was trying to convince Sean to let me buy 5 of them. It didn't go, I didn't get 5, but I convinced him that I could have 2. It took me ages to pick which 2 I wanted, but I went with A Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. I haven't read this yet. I am very excited to read it. And I also chose Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox, and again, I've not read this yet. It was, in fact, let me take the covers off. Out of all the ones I chose, it was the hard covers that made me choose these 2. So this is the Riftborn hardcover underneath, and I just think it's such a beautiful edition, and it's got map end papers as well, and then a purple sprayed edge. And then the Bloodbound was also a beautiful edition. It's got the blue to red ombre and silver foiling. Honestly, I love how much effort is being put into books now. I think they just go the extra mile now, don't they? Because books have become a little bit more popular, and I'm very much enjoying it. This also has beautiful maps on the end papers. And then I went into Boston one day in May, and we looked around a couple of charity shops, and I found 2 Lucy Score. We have Things We Hide from the Light and Things We Left Behind. I got these for 50p each, so they were a bargain. Unfortunately, they're books 2 and 3 in a series, and I don't have book 1, so I need to find that either in a charity shop or for a good price on Vinted. But these were bargains, and I couldn't leave them behind. Obviously, I've not read them yet because I don't have book 1, and I've in fact never read a Lucy Score before, so I do need to find book 1. Because I'm wanting to read the entire Shadow Chronicles universe, whatever it's called, I have been looking on Vinted, and after the Mortal Instruments series, you need to read the Infernal Devices series. So I found these on Vinted. I think about £5, including postage, that was as well. So again, I got these for a good price. They are in a red condition, but I'm very happy with them. So I've got those. The same day I was in Boston that I found the Lucy Scores, we also went into the works, and I found Face Off with the Sprayed Edge. I have never read this series. I know it's a sports romance, and that is all I know. It's literally how stunning these sprayed edges are that made me want to buy this. So I bought that from the works, obviously £5. And then we have the other hardbacks that I bought. I got a £50 Amazon voucher. I did a little bit of work for a brand, and the payment was a £50 Amazon voucher, so that in my mind was free money. I bought a couple of books with it from Amazon, and then we also bought a couple of things we needed for the house with the Amazon voucher, but then I used the cash to buy books. Does that make sense? So I spent £50 because I had a free £50, but I bought some from Tesco as well. So first up, I bought Starside. This wasn't a special Tesco edition, but it still has a really nice foiled picture on the front cover and map end papers. I have started this. I am, you can see, not very far in at all. I'm on chapter 9. I'm further than I thought, but I am enjoying it. It is really good. I'm just so busy at the minute, and I really want to be able to sit down and read this, so I've put it on pause for now. But that is book 1. I then got Stormbreaker, also picked this up from Tesco. They were, I think, £11 on the Tesco club card prices. This one wasn't a Tesco special edition. It's just plain purple and plain black. Not very exciting. But again, this is another dystopian and cannot wait to read it. I've seen this all over BookTok. The last book that I picked up from Tesco was Furybound. At the time of buying this, I hadn't read Diabound, but obviously I've read Diabound now, so I'm really looking forward to moving on to this soon. It was a Tesco exclusive edition, so it has blue sprayed edges, map end papers that match the end papers in Diabound. And then it has this beautiful silver foiling on the actual book. So pretty. Oh! And it's got reverse dust jacket with artwork as well. I do love a pretty book. And I wish I could afford a subscription to some of the special edition book things. I can't even think of a single one, what they're called, but like Illumicrate and what's the other one, Fairy Loot. I wish I could afford those. Sadly I can't. Then the last two hardbacks that I bought in May, I got these from Amazon, and they are Shield of Sparrows and Rights of Starling, books 1 and 2 in the, does this series have a name? It's just called the Shield of Sparrow series, so I got books 1 and 2 in that. Again, not read these yet, very excited to read them. I think the author, Devney Perry, is new to fantasy, but looking in the front of these books, she has written a lot of books. There are a lot. There's a whole list of the, you probably can't see it, a whole list of the books and series that she's written. But I think these are her first fantasy ones. And then we are almost there for May. I promise we're almost there. I, on release day, bought Fever Dream. Of course I did. I love an Elsie Silver. I had to buy that. But whilst I was there, the same day, the book 2 in the DC Stars series with the sprayed edge was released. So I picked this up as well. So I've now got books 1 and 2. I don't know when book 3 is out, but they were selling out fast because there were a lot of people buying them to resell on Vinted, because I'm not going to say, but it's not right to do that, is it? It's not fair. But hopefully I'll be able to get the whole series, because I just love them. They're just so nice, aren't they? And they match up. The books will all match up to make one whole picture. So those were all the May books. And then on to June, the month that I told myself I wasn't going to buy a single book because I'd gone absolutely mental in May, but apparently I like to lie to myself. But to be fair, Sean bought me 2 of them, so I only kind of broke my own promise. So the first 2 that I bought, I have obviously seen these all over TikTok, but a friend of mine, Dana, she did a YouTube video with her favourite reads from last year, and she mentioned these, and then I was just feeling a bit crap the other day, so I went for a little walk into town just to cheer myself up before I had to start work, and I went into the works and I bought One Dark Window and 2 Twisted Crowns, both from the works, so they were £5 each. Very excited to read these. These will be my first Rachel Gillig books. I know there's lots of her books that are very popular on BookTok right now, so I'm excited. I'm hoping that it's a new author that I love. So those were the first 2 purchases, and then the next 2 Sean bought me. He went to Tesco to what was we watching? Oh, we was going to watch the first episode of House of the Dragon, so he went to get some like crisps and dips for us to have whilst we were watching it, and he also picked me up 2 books on the 2 for £9.50. So we have Rose in Chains, which is the traditionally published version of The Auction, and The Auction is a Dramani fanfiction, and was it last year? Last year I was properly in my Dramani era. I read fanfiction after fanfiction. Like, I just kept devouring them to the point where I couldn't remember. I was getting confused which parts of which story were from which book. But anyway, excited to have this. I was listening to it. I was halfway through it on audiobook when Sean bought it for me. So Now I already have the copy and I finished it and it is very good. I did originally give it 3 stars, but then the next day I rethought it and put it up to 4 stars. Obviously I'll talk about that more in my June reading wrap up because I read it in June. And then the final book on this book haul is Arcana Academy. This was traditionally published this year, I think, but I've seen people talking about it on Book Talk for longer because it was indie published before that. I'm just very excited to read it. I'm very excited to read most of these because apart from Direbound, City of Bones, book 1 in the Mortal Instruments, and Rose in Chains, I've yet to read them, any of them, which is why I am on a book buying ban until I can get through some of my TBR. I've got to be stern with myself. That doesn't include any pre-orders, or if a book comes out that I have to have and I remember that it's due for release. I don't know, just ignore me. I'm probably going to buy more books. What can I say? But anyway, I'm going to get these back on the shelf and then we will start with the July TBR. So July TBR time. I have my little stack of books next to me. I picked my picks at the library. I'm going to use a couple of my monthly prompts as usual, but then I'm going to spin the wheel twice. You know, I love spinning the wheel. And I just thought, do you know what? Instead of the 3rd prompt, I'm just going to do an extra spin the wheel because I like it so much. Let's start with the prompts anyway. And prompt number 1 was a book with dark trees on the cover. And this was a prompt given to me by Barry.Avery5 on Instagram. So thank you for that prompt. And I went with, can't see because of my ring light, God Killer by Hannah Kana. I have seen this cover a lot on BookTok, but I've not heard anything about it. And it does have dark trees coming up and all around the moon here. So I was worried that I wasn't going to find anything with dark trees, and I actually, as you saw from the footage, found a few. I did have to ask the librarian to check for me because I did know that this was in a series and I just wanted to make sure that it was book 1, and it is book 1. It's not a huge book, although the font is very small, but it's only 290 pages, so it's not overly long. I don't know what it's about, but it involves gods, and she kills gods, apparently. Kissan makes a living killing them and enjoys it. That intrigues me, actually. So there we have book number 1 for the month. Then the second prompt was just one that I'd put in myself, and it was an author you've never read. I've seen this in the library the last couple of times that I've been in, but it's not fit for any of my prompts, and it is First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I have seen, obviously B.K. Borison is quite a popular author, but I have seen this series in particular on BookTok a lot, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, so it fit the prompt and I grabbed it. Again, no idea what it's about. I don't even need a person to tell me what the book's about. If they just, if I trust their opinion and they tell me it's good, I'll give it a try. I was just reading the blurb, and it's about someone who runs a romance hotline but has stopped believing in love. So, looking forward to that. So, shall we move on to spin the wheel? I'm going to spin the wheel twice, but I've got 2 different wheels. I don't know why, I've been using the spin the wheel app for a while and never once has it given me ads, and now apparently ads all over the place. Anyway, first we have my physical TBR, which has 19 books on it at the moment. So there are all of the physical books that I have got on my shelves, and then if they're part of a series, it's either the first book if I've not started it, or the next book in the series if I have more than one of the series. So 19 books on there is quite a lot. Also, then my second wheel is my Kindle TBR, and although I've just done the book haul with physical books and I've only bought 4 books in June, I did buy a couple of Kindle books, 99p ones, because I have always been a Kindle Unlimited user. I subscribe off and on depending on how much books I've got to read, and it's £9.50 a month for Kindle Unlimited, and I never read 9 Kindle books a month because I read a mixture of physical and Kindle. There is never a month where I will read 9 Kindle books, even if I manage to read 9 books. And I was thinking, every month there are are Kindle deals where loud traffic there. Anyway, every month there are Kindle deals where there are books for 99p, and these are popular books, bestsellers, well-known authors. And I had a look through and I think I bought 3 or 4 Kindle books. So that's only £4 instead of £9.50, and they're mine forever. That is a much more financially sound choice, I think. Anyway, I bought some Kindle books. I'm just trying to justify the fact that I purchased yet more books. And then also, because I'm a Prime member, another ad, because I'm a Prime member, I've also got some books on my Kindle that are Prime books, so I can keep them as long as I like. But once I've read them, if I want to borrow more, I have to return them. That makes sense. If you've got Prime, you'll know how it works. It pretty much works the same way as Kindle Unlimited, but it's included in your Prime subscription. So we're going to start with the physical. Riftborn by Greenwich and Lennox. That's exciting. I'm excited to read this. Let me go get it. Here we go. Here is the book. I really need to take that sticker off, don't I? Not right now. I'm going to take that sticker off and then I'm going to add it to my pile behind me. And then I'm going to spin my Kindle TBR. I was kind of hoping it would land on that one. This is, in fact, The Auction by Sadie Kincaid. That's not one of the ones I purchased. That's one of the ones that I've borrowed on Prime Reading. So if you've got Prime, that's available on there now. It is a dark romance, but the whole concept of someone being auctioned off and forced into a certain role, should we say, but they want to be in that role, not like against their will. I'm not into that. Like, it's a happy coincidence. They've been forced into this role, but they kind of like it. I don't know. I don't know. I might hate it because, you know, dark romance is a tricky genre for me. I don't always love it. Like the ones I've tried, I've not been a huge fan of, but there's just something about the premise of this one that I really want to read it, and I hope that I like it. But yes, we're going to read The Auction by Sadie Kincaid, is it? Here is what the cover looks like. It's a really pretty cover, actually. For her, he would pay any price. Wages of Sin, book 1. I hope that I like it. I really, really hope that I like it. And then the next 2 books are from my recurring monthly prompts. So I have continuing a series and also a book from my 26 for 2026. I actually ticked off a few of my 26 for 2026 last month. I will, as usual, pop it on the screen, and the ones that I've done are ticked. I think I'm doing really well for halfway through the year. We're making good progress. But anyway, first, continuing a series, I've gone with City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So this is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series. This is a lot smaller than book 1, 450, how is? Smaller. This is 415 pages, so that's not very long at all, is it? But yeah, I'm excited to continue with this series because I feel like one more book will really hook me in and I will be like fully in my Shadowhunters era. And then a book from my 26 or 2026 that I've chosen is The Wolf King. Why not? I wanted to read this for a while. It's been on my shelf since, what did I just say? March? April. Been on my shelf since April. We're going to read this one. So here we have our stack of books. Obviously there's The Auction on my Kindle to go with these as well, but we're making a good dent into my physical TBR. 3 books from my physical TBR this month. We're quite fantasy heavy. We've only got 1 romance, and then The Auction is dark romance. I'd quite fantasy heavy month, which doesn't bother me. Fantasy is my favourite. But I'm excited for another good reading month. My June wrap up will be coming next week. It's not quite the end of June yet. As I'm filming this, it's the 25th of June. So I still have another week of reading to go. But so far I finished 10 books. I'm almost finished the one I'm currently reading on my Kindle. I have Fever Dream to read. That's for book club, so I have to read that this week, and then I'm hoping I can continue with Starside as well, but we shall see. So we're looking, I would say, about 12 books for June, but we'll go through all of those in next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed it. My reading videos are still not reaching the same amount of audience as my home videos. Obviously I love doing my home videos, I love my home content, I love doing my clean with me's, but these book videos, I suppose they're for me. I love reading, it's my favourite thing to do. So I love making the videos, and I hope more people will find me as the weeks go on, but I appreciate every single watch, every single like, and every single subscribe. So thank you so much, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye.